Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Give me a vortex up in the chat if I can be heard, family. Give me a vortex up in the chat if I can be heard. Bless up. Fair use for entertainment and education purposes only. Fair use in this deal. All right, let's go ahead and cook though. Yeah. Give me a vortex if I can be heard. Bless up. Give me a vortex if I can be heard. All right, let's go ahead and cook. Make it happen. All right, we're looking good. Okay. Turn that down right there. All praises to the ever-present creator, the all in all, the always was, is, and ever shall be. Yeah, the mighty I am that I am, the great spirit. I salute you all in the love and light of the omnipotent creator. Bless up. Good to see everybody up in the chat. I see y'all piling on in. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Shout out to the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. Yeah. We love y'all too. Y'all see the title though, Book of Inspiration, the Spirit World and Its Influence Over Man. Yeah, let's get some understanding. A lot of these guys in what's called the conscious community claim that they're, conscious. You feel me? Or have arrived at a place to where they feel awake, right? But when it comes down to the topic of spirit and what happens when you cross over and what's propelling you or influencing you, it start getting real Mickey and tricky, real weird. You know what I mean? A lot of them call spirit pseudo. They can't fathom it. It's pseudo to them. You feel me? Not knowing the evidence of what you would call the unseen realm is right around us and everywhere you look, everywhere. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. Y'all see the title, Book of Inspiration, the Spirit World and Its Influence Over Man. Shout out to the Creative Gang, man. Shout out to the Creative Gang. We've been dropping megaton light bombs all over social media. All praises. You understand? Great job. Let's continue to apply pressure. Shout out to my Nazarene scene, faithist brothers and sisters worldwide. I salute you all in the love, light, and wisdom of our omnipotent, ever-present creator. Bless up. All right, let's share some of this. Let's get to it. Bronze in the building. Dominique in the building. Ruz in the building. Bang. Young Prince in the building. Bless up. Juju. Daughter in the building. Bless up, girl. Let's cook.
That? What is that?
A bright object was seen streaming across the Colorado sky over the weekend. It wasn't a UFO. Astronomers say it was a fireball meteor.
That just means it was unusually bright and possibly even big enough to have hit the ground.
Some of the reports described it as a big red fireball. One said the light from the meteor lit up the entire block. Really amazing to see that.
And it was pretty substantial. Like that was a fairly decent one.
Margaret Landis with the University of Colorado says most of the shooting stars we see in a normal meteor shower are about the size of a grain of sand up to a pebble. But a fireball can commonly be 3 feet in diameter or larger.
The interest and the excitement for this one and why I kind of regret being asleep at 3 a.m. Was it was observed by so many people, so it's not a particularly small one.
The American Meteor Society says they received reports from Wyoming all the way to New Mexico.
It's breathtaking.
It's extremely bright. I mean, there could be an alien that has just landed, but
Yeah.
The aliens, they are back now. The government told us.
there's video proof.
Check this out. A green meteor captured on camera along the Gulf Coast early yesterday morning. Wow, this video is from the...
Boy, y'all see that? Them heavens is on fire, boy. They popping. It's a lot of motion in the heavens right now. Lots and lots of motion. Ooh-wee.
Louisiana, Mississippi state line, but the American Meteorological Society said it also received calls from people in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and here in Texas.
Louisiana captured images of a glowing fireball in the sky early this morning. The celestial show was visible across several states.
And reports came from anywhere between Texas and Florida. But there are now reports coming in as far away as California. So this was a big event. But check this out. The fireball was caught by this security camera in Thibodaux from Chantel Danos. You can see how it just lights up the sky and the neighborhood like it's in the middle of the day for just a brief couple of seconds.
Well, a small town in rural Queensland has become a meteor landing site. Locals across the north of the state reported seeing a bright green flash on Saturday night before hearing a loud bang. Astrophysicists believe the meteor, no bigger than a metre wide, landed somewhere in Croydon, which is a 6-hour drive inland from Cairns, with a population of just 300 people.
Yeah, it was a shock, bit of disbelief, but night turning to day for a few seconds, and then soon after a God Almighty roar, a really loud bang like explosion just on the edge of town somewhere.
Lighting up the night sky over North Queensland. Whoa! A meteor turned fireball as it entered the atmosphere and landed west of Townsville. Woo! Its light show captured by locals at home from the road, this from Cairns Airport, and even from the air.
It was very intense. I didn't know what it was at first. I thought it might have been a laser.
Flight paramedic Michael Paulson was between Charters Towers and Townsville when he saw the flash.
I've only seen this once before in the distance many years ago, and this was a lot brighter. And I thought, well, it missed us, so I'm going to get myself a lotto ticket and see whether it brings some good luck.
Experts have now confirmed what it was.
Well, definitely a natural object. Yeah, to have one over a populated area, also on a Saturday evening when people are out and about, reveling in Saturday activities, it's kind of a special treat. So I think that's a cool combination of, it doesn't happen that often, but the timing and location is ideal.
We just got this new image in of an historic event at an equally historic location, a green-hued comet that has not been visible in the night sky since the Stone Age. That's about 50,000 years ago. It was recently photographed above Stonehenge in England. As close as the comet got to Earth, it was still a ways away, more than 100 times the distance to the moon, but it is a rare and historic treat to see it.
Well, the thing that's really cool about this is time, right? If you think of the comet as it goes around in its orbit as like a clock, then the last time that, the hands were pointing to where it is now was the Ice Age, essentially, when there was, 2 miles of ice above my head in Rochester, and the entire world's population could fit into Cleveland. So, it's just... what this really shows us is these comets are visitors from, the dawn of time in many ways. And it's just such an amazing thing to think about. The last time this comet went by, it was all forests, and now it's, New York City and TikTok. So the comet's probably pretty surprised.
In the skies over Jerusalem. And why did it stop over one of the most treasured sites in Christianity? Plus, what was in the skies over Jerusalem? And why did it stop over one of the most treasured sites in Christianity?
There's a new video this morning that some say may be proof we're not alone in the universe. A UFO in the form of a bright light is seen descending over the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. The video is said to be taken over the weekend. Then suddenly the light shoots up into the sky. There you see it. Another video from a different angle appears to show the light doing the same thing. Those clips have gone viral now.
We've seen them in Mississippi like this, but never like this.
What on earth?
At one point, the light zoomed off.
Oh, What did I just freaking see, dude? What was that?
Dude, that's a UFO for sure.
Several people sent us videos of a formation of 5 green lights they saw hovering near their homes Thursday night. At one point, you could see 2 of the lights speed away from the grouping. The quick, coordinated movement suggests the lights likely came from drones, but a British woman visiting Austin said she'd never seen anything like this.
Oh my God. Mysterious lights were spotted Thursday night over Brushy Creek and Cat Hollow.
Definitely isn't a plane.
This video was sent to Fox 7 by Gus McGibbon.
That's something right there. It didn't make any noise at all, which I just thought was really odd. But yeah, I definitely felt like there might have been an alien invasion or something on the way. But yeah.
I can't tell what it is, but it's...
I never believed in UFOs or anything like that, but like, I mean, yeah. I might now. I don't know. I'm not sure. It could have been drones. It could have been anything.
It was mesmerizing, honestly. It was so silent.
Former Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers shares a close encounter of the third kind on the latest episode of Hard Knocks. Take a listen.
Steve and his brother and I walked outside, and up in the clouds, you know, we heard this sound and we saw this tremendously large object moving through the sky, and it was like a scene out of Independence Day when the ships are coming into the atmosphere and they're creating this like kind of explosion type fire in the sky. And then we all kind of looked at each other like, did we just see what we think we just saw? What was that?
They saw an orange something in the sky, and then it was followed by fighter jets. He said he heard the sound.
Fighter jets?
Yeah, that's what he said. He said it was like 3 of them.
They were chasing
afterward. Yeah, that's what. Yep, he said chasing.
Check out this video from one of our viewers, Mashatai. He said he woke up at about 2:30 this morning, get a drink of water, and this is what he saw in the sky. Certainly caught his eye. He took the video from Kaka'ako and thinks the lights were over Central or West Oahu, hard to tell from his vantage point. As you can see, the 2 bright lights, and then slowly a 3rd light appears. Hatai believes he saw about 8 to 10 of the lights total. He says he believes, at least he thinks, they're probably flares.
It looks like flares. Definitely could have been taken as something more mysterious. But yeah, it's definitely probably just flares, military flares. Definitely really unusual to see. So they were super bright. I guess I couldn't really get the full gist of it with my camera since it was so far away, but it was really, really bright. I mean, I looked out my lanai and it was literally the first thing I saw.
Now, we did check today with the FAA whether they received any reports. They did not. We also checked with the Hawaii Air National Guard, the U.S. Army, Schofield Barracks. In the past, when we've received reports about similar lights, it did wind up being due to military training. We're still waiting to hear exactly what those lights are.
This was something different. It just was, and it felt something different too.
Natasha Reichert and her mother Donna were taking a late night stroll when they saw 2 pulsating lights in the sky.
Military flares, whatever they were, remain unconfirmed. The best answer yet is that it was some kind of military exercise. That's what lifeguards told San Diego police. But I called Camp Pendleton and Naval Air Station North Island. Both said they had no idea.
And these were coming back and going, moving different directions, and then all of a sudden getting, clustered together. And yeah, it was definitely not of this world.
The lights could be seen all across San Diego, even from Federico Burin's home in Rosarito, Mexico.
It caught my attention and I decided to start recording this to analyze it later.
Federico says he thought it had to do with the military.
I'm very realistic. I don't believe in those conspiracy theories or anything like that. I just want an explanation to find out what's going on.
While others say the flashing lights that stayed in the sky for roughly 20 minutes can't be explained.
Dan Hare from Encinitas says he never saw any kind of aircraft. He says there were initially 2 dots, then up to 6. They would blink on and off, and it lasted about an hour.
However, ABC 10 News is still awaiting confirmation from the Navy to make sure this phenomenon was just an earthly coincidence.
I felt awesome that we got to be able to see it, whatever it was.
Yeah, there were even rumors the bright lights in the sky were all in preparation for Imperial Beach's upcoming 4th of July drone show. But the city confirmed today the drones for that show won't arrive until Thursday and the operator the next day.
It's difficult for them to dismiss this because there are so many different angles. We've got 4 different videos, all from various perspectives, showing this light above the Dome on the Rock. In Jerusalem, the Temple Mount, of course, we know, which is a holy site for both Jews and Muslims. You see the shining ball of light, right? It's above there. It's kind of, well, they just froze it and I really can't see it now. But there it is right there. It's at the top of the screen. Yeah. It's up there and it hovers, kind of a pulsating orb. And then hold on here because this thing starts going down right toward, you see it there, going down toward the Dome of the Rock and the Temple Mount. And then it stops and it hovers there for a while. It kind of sits there, and then all of a sudden it shoots straight back up into the air. Whoa. Now, experts say this would be kind of an indication this is an unmanned. There it is. You saw it right there. It shot straight back up in the air. Yeah. It's kind of hard to see, but it shot up in the air, and the experts think that, it's an unmanned vehicle, they believe. It could be a drone, but they do not know of anything like this in the Israeli army.
Inflation is here to stay. It is here to stay. And the problem with inflation, this is my personal thing about it, it makes the rich richer, but it makes the poor poor. I mean, literally poor. And then the middle class gets hit the hardest. And the thing that concerns me is, and revolution starts when the poor can't survive. Because, like when you go to the store and a piece of celery is $20, and today it's oil. So the question today is, what do you do? How do you hedge against what's coming? Because when Biden, when that commie Biden cut off the XL pipeline, the price of oil went through the roof. I was buying oil at $30 a barrel, or selling oil at $30 a barrel, and then it went to $130 a barrel. So I got really rich, but it wipes out everybody else. And that's why then Biden has the guts to blame Putin for it. I'm going, wait a minute, you're the guy that cut off the pipeline. This guy Biden is a criminal. And if you understand how the dollar is created, you'd be at Vancouver, because 1944, the US dollar became the reserve currency of the world, and they'll always print. The system is flawed. This is our time. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a political show. We're not CNN, and we're definitely not Fox, but we better start paying attention. So that's why I wanted to have Jay Martin on here, because he's in the heart of resource country, which is Vancouver, British Columbia.
It's time, if you're not paying attention, if you're still riding the default mode, it's time to start paying attention and taking control, because exactly what you just said, right? If we thought consumer inflation has been bad and caused, disgruntled civil unrest, just wait until we see food and fuel riots in the streets. And I've never been a doom and gloom guy. That's not what I am. I'm an investor. I'm looking to make money. I think the rest of the 2020s will be like the first 2 years of the 2020s, right? Unprecedented is the new precedented. And this is just getting started.
Correct. And we both have some really stellar leaders. You have Trudeau and we have Biden. I mean, the communist way is to kill many people as possible. I went Vietnam veteran and I saw Vietnamese killing Vietnamese. And that's just not part of our psyche. But the trouble with communism, well, what you can see in the Ukraine, they'll shell housing. They'll shell women and kids and all this. They don't care. It's murder in my book. But as a U.S. Marine, we go to jail for that. But the communist system is, it's okay to murder your fellow human being. So that's why it's dangerous. But more than so, other than just that, how do you protect yourself from them killing us in our wallets? What Biden's doing and Trudeau's doing, they're a bunch of hardcore communists. They may not know it, but what they're doing is making it really tough on the poor and middle class, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%. And that communist manifesto is always sold under the guise of community and togetherness, and we're going to have each other's back. And any student of history knows that's never how it goes. And repeatedly, it's sold to the public, and the public accepts it. Isn't that wild? How many times do we need to learn this lesson? But we're going that direction, and it's somewhat horrifying. And so what do, right? My answer is optionality. I need options, right? And so whether that's stores of wealth in a variety of safe haven asset classes, I'm heavy gold, silver, Bitcoin, I'm heavy real estate. But beyond that, we're optioning our U.S. passports. I'm Canadian American. My family's dual, right? And I want the optionality of a couple geographies, to be honest with you.
Right. I'm an oil guy. I own lots of oil. And like I said, we were selling it for $30 a barrel. Then it went to 100. I think 3 days, 105 a barrel. So I'm making a lot of money.
It was $70 to fill up my tank today. That's so ridiculous. It's double what it was 2 years ago.
And the way, I don't know if you know this, but oil provides fertilizer, and fertilizer is what keeps the crops growing. So you're going to see food prices climb, and then the cost of getting the food to the supermarkets and all this, it just gets to be worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And so that's when Biden cut off the pipeline. He made me a rich man. He blames Putin for it. I'm going, what? These guys are cartoons. They're jokes.
Yes. I mean, how much oil and gas actually makes it to the U.S. from Russia? It's less than 10%, right? And the U.S. has lots of options to produce more natural gas and oil.
But Biden has cuts it off here. He's cutting our oil supply. I mean, I produce oil, so I'm not concerned at all, but he cut the production of America down. The biggest problem is, for the last few years, all wars are about oil. You know, what happened to Pearl Harbor, they bombed Pearl Harbor because Roosevelt cut off oil. Yeah. And they said, you screw you, we're going to bomb you. So I watch what's happening in the Ukraine, and then Biden goes to Saudi Arabia. And then this was the biggest thing of all, Jay. I don't think anybody saw it. Saudi Arabia agreed to sell China oil and trade in the yuan, the Chinese currency.
I don't like the direction things are going, but I don't know of a currency that holds more influence on the global stage or that will.
I don't think people know the history of the dollar. It's a petrodollar. The U.S. dollar is what everybody trades, not only in food and stuff like that, but they traded oil in dollars. The moment that they start accepting yuan, I mean, why doesn't Biden, I guess his family does work for the Chinese government, don't they? But the point here is this, what are you going to do about it? I just took a position, one of the largest gold mines in the world, in world history. And I'm very bullish on gold. You know, we have control of tons of gold, not just ounces. And because to me, gold has been money since God came around. Gold and silver are God's money. Bitcoin is people's money. And so that's why I watch the dollar, and I still see Americans saving dollars or Canadians. You know, I'm going, what the heck are people? Are they nuts?
If and when I hold cash, it's strictly to capitalize on opportunities, like you said, right? You're building a position in one of the world's largest gold mines for that reason. And I've been heavier cash over the last 6 months than ever before. And the reason was, Robert, I really struggled to find value anywhere, right? It was like I'm heavyweight and continuing to buy gold and silver.
If you can't find a deal and you're stacking with cash, because of course Biden printed I don't know how many trillions, they're printing so much cash. What is that going to do to real assets? Real estate's in a bubble, stock market's in a bubble. Where do you put your cash? But I can start a gold mine. So I started several gold mines, several silver mines. And please, anybody who is into the stock market and real estate market right now, or even worse, somebody who believes in saving dollars or loonies, Canadian dollar or yen or pesos, I don't know if you understand here that they're printing trillions of it. And when Biden shut down the XL pipeline, I went, oh my God, that guy is a communist. Because when he shut down the pipeline, we knew inflation was going through the roof. And so anyway, we're talking about how do you play this? Because they're going to keep printing money. They have to. I mean, I just can't imagine. So if you're saving dollars, and we're in the biggest bubble of all times, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, biggest bubble, to me, the best investment is still silver, gold, and oil, and Bitcoin or crypto.
There's one asset class that has survived the rise and fall of hundreds of empires and thousands of market cycles, and that's gold. And yes, I'm bullish Bitcoin, but it hasn't proven itself in all sorts of environments yet, whereas gold has always retained its value.
Well, gold is God's money. It was put here by God, same as silver. I do know it's on the periodical chart of elements. In the next 50 to 100,000 years, resources will always be a play. Like Russia is one of the biggest resource producers, so is China. And Canada, Vancouver, British Columbia is a major resource producer. I'm an extremely rich man today, extremely. And I have oil, and I'm getting richer every time Biden opens his stupid mouth. But resources is how the rich get richer. This is the bad side. The poor get poorer too, big time. Years and years ago, 25 years ago, I was one of those guys standing there with my little junior mine, and I hit two. I hit one in Argentina, and I hit one in China. And that little Chinese mine turned into the biggest mine in Chinese history. For about a good year, I was a billionaire just from this one mine in China. And the Chinese said, thank you very much. So I stopped eating Chinese food after that.
And what happened to you is a very common story, right? You know, and I think more so now than ever, you got to look at the geopolitical risk.
And I'm glad my little Argentine mine is still kicking off silver, so that's working well. They didn't take that yet. Jay just said a very important point here is it's called geopolitical. I call it country risk. So if somebody says, well, the mine is in Iran, I'd say, well, pass. So yeah, but it's the biggest in the world. I said, I'll still pass. And that's how you get educated, because resources, given that inflation is going to be here to stay, resources are going to be your best investment, but it's also, in my opinion, the highest risk. It's the highest risk there is. I was out there in Vancouver in the 80s and 90s. It was just the best education I ever had. And what makes me such a pessimist on Biden and the Treasury and the Fed is what I learned in Vancouver. And it was a really exciting time because gold, oil, and silver are real money. Its resources are real money. If you understand that, resources are the next biggest investment. China's buying oil from Saudi Arabia in yuan is a big move to me. It's huge. It means China's saying, F you, US dollar. That's what it means to me. And mommy and daddy are still out there trying to save a few dollars, work hard to get a pay raise for $15 an hour. They're completely out of touch with what's going on in the world. When Biden is in charge and the way the dollar is set up, the dollar always loses money. It's called Triffin's dilemma. If you're the reserve currency of the world, the dollar always loses value because debt always goes up. So the Fed has to keep printing. The Treasury has to keep printing. The rich don't work for money. Rich don't save money because the dollar is fake. The US dollar is fake. All currencies are fake. That's how I think today.
Welcome to Democracy.
Oh, yeah. It's going down. If I can be heard, slap a vortex up in the chat if I can be heard. But it's going down, y'all. The Great Reset is said to be here circa 2030, which is roughly 100 years after the Great Depression. So it's going down. You dig? I found very interesting that they declared the United States dollar the world's reserve currency in 1944, right? A decade after the Depression. That's interesting. Yeah, but ain't nothing wrong with that, y'all. Prepare. You see the writing on the wall? Prepare. Great Reset is coming to where they talking about snatching all resources anyway. And, mankind to be basically plugged into a virtual reality or AI program type. You'll still be happy. You'll still, live as if all in your mind, though. Like, you'll be locked down in something smaller than your average jail cell, but be able to jump on some artificial intelligent goggles or some virtual reality goggles and escape. You know what I mean? All that's based off credits and all that. So they talking about the Great Reset, they talking about taking and confiscating all resources that man has. Yeah, everything that you brag about, that you own, and that you feel as if it gives you some type of social status or rank or whatever, they coming for all that. Yep, and man is gonna be a happy slave. Man will be a happy slave. You feel me? Because even though he's living in below or subpar conditions, it won't even matter because in his mind he'll be happy. All he has to do is plug in. You'll be working for credits. Check out that show on it's been out for a minute, Black Mirrors. Check out Black Mirrors on Netflix and all that. You'll see what I'm talking about. Like a dystopian society. Good to see y'all in the building, though. Bless up. Y'all see the title, Book of Inspiration, the Spirit World and Its Influence Over Man. I know one thing, boy, these heavens is popping, ain't it? It's active. Dreadful Cosmon in the building, my Cali Connect, bro. Bless up, bro. What's the word, King? My brother Prince Judah, my other Cali Connect. Bless up. My brother Nazarene Hussein in the building. Bless up, King. What's the word? My brother Fritz Foxwell in the building. What's the word, my beloved brother? Bless up. My baby girl Juju in the building. What's up, baby girl? Bless up. We in the building. DC Sniper in the building. You already know what time it is with bro. Bless up, you and your fam, bro. Bless up. Bronze Yoga in the building. Y'all like, subscribe, share. The Bronze Yoga Report. Like, subscribe, and share. Creative Gang TV. Like, subscribe, share. My brother Dominique in the building. Boy, be on Facebook dropping bombs on cats. Huh? Would you say, Dominique, we outside, ain't we? My sister from the north, gorgeously designed in the building. Bless up, bless up. Blessings to you and my young little soldier, Malaki. Blessings to him. HERBAL lifestyle. Bless up, City of Compton, Hub City in the building. My Robbie Dobson, Kanaya El Batya. Bless up. Just me in the building. Bless up. Looking good out here. What's this right here? Vontae Rio Creator Gang. Yeah, drop that. I gotta drop the video of the store link. I seen float through the sky, most deaf. Blessings to you, my brother. See La Shalom in the building. Y'all like, subscribe, share, tap in with the God, man. See, like you had Tazoya looking like a mental midget around here. Crazy. Hey, trip off this. And you did it with the Bible. You really ain't even going to WASP. You did that with the Bible. The boy looking like a mental midget. Sit your ass down somewhere. BC in the building. Brandon Carter, Naptown in the building. Bless up, Kings, the word. LPA Pat in the building. Bless up, sis. How you doing? My sister Julie Ray Adams. Boy, they be mad at sis. Or who we know is Yafa. Julie Ray and Yafa are the same sister. They be mad at you, Yafa. What you be doing? Yafa be starting all fights around this deal. What else we got up in here that I missed? Anybody else I missed, please forgive you, brother. You know what I mean? Instructor Tillman, SEAL Team 144 in the building. Bless up. Headshot, body blow. Marcus Israel in the building. My brother, Omaha, Nebraska. Bless up. Stephen Moore in the building. My brother, Toya in the building. Bless up. Y'all tapping in today? Abriya. My Aboriginal sister. Bless up. We in the building. We are in the building today. All right, so let's get into some of this book of inspiration. Y'all see what we've been doing the past few months. We've been invading platforms and debating and, you know, hot seating and interviewing, swinging back through, making sure, you know, we was very thorough in our approach. And as you can see, Creative Gang is out here handling business. You feel me? So all praises to the omnipotent one, the ever-present creator, the all in all. That always was, is, and never shall be. You know, everybody else licking their wounds. So, you know, today is more of a teaching type thing. All right. We're going into what's called the Book of Inspiration in OASP, Sky, Earth, Spirit. OASP means Sky, Earth, Spirit. We're going to the Book of Inspiration. And the subtitle was what? The Spirit World and Its Influence Over Man. Now, I wanted to show like some paranormal type stuff. But y'all know every time I get to showing that, they get to shut down the stream and all that. So we're just going to get into it. And again, any of you Millie Mouth misfits listening, stop me when you hear something evil, not what you disagree with, but if you hear something evil and sadistic and demonic and blood curdling and you know things like baby killing and sex trafficking, you know cursing little children and you know the like, you know. If you hear any of that, please stop me, brother. All right. But if not, I want y'all to take a ride with us real quick. Take a ride with the gang real quick, man. You dig? Take a ride with the gang. All right, let's get into some of this. Gang. We're about to get into what's called the Book of Inspiration. All right. Can't believe it's this much light outside. I can't believe. What you can't believe, big dog? What's wrong? Nah. Y'all can't be dropping it like that, man. I can't believe. As you see, we openly display what it is we talking about around these parts, don't we? Openly display it. Right? Let's get into this. This is the last verse of the Book of Discipline, which goes right into the Book of Inspiration. All right, let's read some of this. Figure we get on today and chop it up with the fam, a little taste. You feel me? All right, this is the last chapter, last verse of the book of discipline. Look what it says. All right, these are the words in discipline. These are the words in discipline. Your God shapes the thoughts of millions in this direction. The two words in discipline are the authority vested in me, your elder brother. So this is what God is calling himself to you, man. God is your older brother. And the authority that's been given to your older brother is by Yahweh, or by Jehovah, the creator, ruler, and dispenser, worlds without end. Amen. End of the book of discipline. Notice God in Oah'S always pays homage and pays respect and glorifies his creator. Always. Always. You dig? And I was thinking about something too this morning, like going back over when Selah sat down with YAH'KI, right? And he was admitting that Genesis 1 is not the Most High, but angels. And then he tried to give an example, like, you know, when what's his name, Barack Obama, when Osama bin Laden got killed, right? It was Barack Obama who sent troops in to kill Osama bin Laden, right? That's the example he gave. So even though Obama got the credit, he didn't kill, he didn't pull one trigger, he didn't drop one bomb, but he's the one that sent the troops in to kill Osama bin Laden, and thus he got the credit for the kill of Osama bin Laden. So he's trying to say that's what happened with the creator, Christ, and the angels. All right, the creator sent them. The creator sent them, and then they built the earth and the world and the suns, moons, and stars, and animals, and ecosystems, and even man. All right. The only problem with that, not even the only problem, but one of the main problems with that is this. In the example you gave about Barack Obama still got the credit for it. You see, God in Genesis 1 is not giving credit to the creator for creation. See, that example you gave didn't even work, because if God in Genesis 1 is not the creator, but Christ and the angels, well, God never said or gave homage to nor praised the creator for sending him or them to create man, to create ecosystems, to create sun, moons, and stars, to create galaxies, to create animals, to create vegetation. They never gave, since the God in Genesis 1 or is Christ and the angels, nobody ever even gave authority or praise or props or none of that to the creator. See, you hung yourself. That example you gave about Barack Obama, you got to take that off the table, because Barack Obama still got the credit for killing Osama bin Laden, even though he wasn't there, even though he gave the order. Remember, YAH'KI was saying, what? Let me teach you how order works. Huh? He don't do the killing, he just sends somebody to kill, but he still gets the credit for it. God in Genesis 1 never gives the credit to the creator. Sit your monkey ass down. You don't know what you're talking about. All throughout Oah'S, God is referencing the creator, because God and the creator, or God, Lord God and the creator, are all different. It's not the same. You dig? I thought I'd speak on that. You dig? Being that YAH'KI is saying that God in Genesis 1 is Christ and the angels. Well, that means that God in Genesis 1 is not the Most High, even according to him. And if God or Christ and the angels represent God in Genesis 1, then Christ and the angels never paid homage to their father, the creator, for sending them to create man, to create animals, to create vegetation, ecosystems, sun, moon, stars, galaxies, and all that. You dig? And then he cut himself even more, because when you go over to Genesis 2 and 4, it says the Lord God, or he said, now this is the true God, this is the Most High. But it says the Lord God created and made man. So that means God in Genesis 1 is referring to the Most High creator. But you don't want to admit that, because then you would have to admit that he's plural. When were you dealing with monotheism? That was another excellent point he brought up. When were you ever dealing with that? Book of Inspiration, OI chapter 1. These are the words of Tay. Tay is basically another word for mankind. Okay. These are the words of Tay in Cosmon, present time. I am light, I am central, but boundless, says the Creator. Ooh-wee. I give you of my light. And when you have received, so this is the Creator talking through man, okay? I am light, I am central, but boundless, says the Creator. I give you of my light, and when you have received, you cry out, behold, I am wise. Your corpora, your physicality I made in which to localize you to mature your entity. Without me, you would not have come to life. You hear what the Creator is saying? Without me, don't none of this move. Don't none of this move. Yeah. Without me, you would not have come to life. You are like the end of a ray of light from my person. You a ray of light from me. Like, think of the sun and think of the rays of light that come from the sun. How could the ray boast against the sun itself? Now, so how can man ever boast against his maker or against his creator? Without me, you would not have come to life. You are like the end of a ray of light from my person. And you are focalized in your corporeal body. You are centralized. You are focused right here in the physical body. But you are a ray of light from the Creator's very person. Whew. Boy, look at this. I am to your spirit like the sun is to a ray of light. I am the light that illuminates your soul. See, Creator's clearing up. You know, we've been telling y'all the difference between God and the Creator. Now you're getting even more clarity about the Creator. He letting it be known. What he say? I am to your spirit like the sun is to a ray of light. I am the light that illuminates your soul. Yeah, man, look, I don't even think people really understand what's really going on here, right? It's imperative you differentiate or make a distinction between your Creator and the gods, lords, and Lord gods and angels. It's imperative. It's imperative you understand the character of your Creator. It's imperative for you to understand, and it's a benefit for you to know that you'll never see your Creator as you see your fellow man. Why is this important? Because when it's time for some type of visitation, or when it's time for you to cross over, you can at least be aware and not become an unwilling slave to a false deity or God, telling you to bow to them. I am to your spirit like the sun is to a ray of light. I am the light that illuminates your soul. This ain't a God talking, it's the Creator talking. Look, the ray of light that goes out of me takes root in mortality. You are the product. You talking about? We talking about light. Y'all over there talking about darkness, baby killing, and lawful rape and all that. We talking about light that emanates from the Creator's very person and presence is what lights you up. Without that, without the virtue, without the ever-present Creator, none of this would be cracking. None of it. You the product. The ray of light that goes out of me takes root in mortality. And you are the product, the tree. You are nothing, though all things that constitute you existed before. These I drove together and quickened. Thus I made you in the way that I made you physically, corporally. So I made you spiritually and intellectually. Something about your personality, who you are. You're special. There will never be another you. That's how special you are. In the way that I made you corporally or physically, so I made you spiritually, intellectually. Look at this. As I made your physical body out of corporate, as I made your flesh out of what constitutes physicality, so out of my light, which is my very self, I built you up in spirit with consciousness that you are. See? Just like I made your corporeal body out of physicality, so out of my light, which is my very self, wow, I built you up in spirit with consciousness that you are, made you aware, built you up in spirit, out of the Creator's very life itself, very light in self. Look at this. You cannot add the tiniest fraction to your corporeal self by your own will and exertion. It is by and through me that the process of absorption by the blood adds to you. Woof, woof. Your blood flows in your veins because of my quickening power upon you. That's what it is. It's by virtue of the Creator's presence, your blood is flowing. When I would draw my hand, you die. Life and death are of me. All your corporeal part is, therefore, of me and through me. So also is your spirit of me. And as you cannot add a fraction to your corporeal, your physical self, your fleshly self, neither can you add a fraction to your spiritual self. Your spirit grows out of myself. Boy, what are you talking about? Huh? Just like you can't add nothing to your physical, you can't add, everything is green lighted by your Creator. Your spirit grows out of myself. Nor can you of your own self manufacture, acquire, or take to yourself one new thought, idea, or invention. Yeah. Everything you got crashing through your head is not of you. What is inspiration coming from? Man is inspired. Man is influenced. Man is propelled by forces that he can't see. Yeah. Real spill. Look at this. Nor can you of your own self manufacture, acquire, or take yourself one new thought, idea, or invention. All thoughts. Look at this. All thoughts, knowledge, and judgment which you have, I gave to you. Sit your monkey ass down somewhere. Wait. Everything that you think you know, or everything that makes you. See what the Creator said, I gave to you. Your thoughts, your knowledge, and judgment which you have, I gave to you. As the whirlwind, as the vortex gathers up dust and drives it toward a center. So with the plan of my universe. Now you can refer and look at tornadoes and hurricanes and say this is the methodology of the Creator's created universe. He creates through vortices. And that's why you can look up into the telescope and see swirling galaxies all over. The Creator is still creating. He never stopped. As the whirlwind gathers up dust and drives it toward the center, so is the plan of my universe. You are like a center. Right? So man is compared to the universe. You are like a galactic center. All things come to you, oh man, from without. Everybody telling us everything is within. But everything that comes upon you is impressed on you from outside of you. And you receive it through your senses. Man has to develop. You hear that a lot. Everybody be telling us some go within. But everything you got within, you got from without. Look at children. Right? Their surroundings impress on them. You feel me? So what it is that you retain within came from without, actually. So what good is going within if you never retain nothing from outside? See, it's real easy to see where the light is and to see, who pump faking and who not. And that's all you heard today. You don't need no type of book at all. Just go within. But everything you have within or you've retained within, you got from without. Man is influenced. Man is inspired. Man's environment impresses upon him. That's what make you who you are, is your experience. And only through that can you perfect. You got to have some type of experience or experiences to perfect, to perfect yourself. You are like a center. All things come to you from without. Your knowledge as well as your corporeality, your physical existence, came to you from outside. So sit on down somewhere talking about all you got to do is go within. No, all you got to do is live and go through the experience. You understand? And from that, you gain knowledge and understanding and wisdom. And you learn how to move based off experience. Your knowledge as well as your corporeality came to you from outside, from that which was external to yourself. So your environment is very important. Whether you cultivating the minds of children yourself, or even when you introducing somebody to what's called a healing. You know what I mean? The environment is very important. The environment is very important. Your environment, your surroundings is what impresses upon you. Right? And this is how you gain your experience, and this is what makes you. You see? So we just blew a hole in it. All you gotta do is go within. No, whatever you retain within is what you got from outside of you. Right? Children are like what? A sponge. Soak in everything they see, hear, and all that. That ain't coming from within. They're observing objectively what their surroundings are about and mimicking that. Right? So yeah, I mean, you can go within, but everything you have within came from outside. Yeah. So y'all get some understanding. Give me a 9 up in the chat. Bless up. We slow rolling. Certain basics of understanding. The rudimentary ideals when it comes to spirit must be understood. You got to understand all that, man. And what you're gonna find out with the cold thing about a wasp, it is, it exposes not only the false gods, but their devotees that's out there pump faking. A lot of people selling y'all spirit. They're selling it to you. You know what I mean? And once you find out, you start reading the wasp, you realize, boy, these little groovy gurus don't know what the hell they talking about. Out here making money hands over fists, pimping spirits. You don't know what the hell they talking about. How we looking? We all good? Okay, chapter 2, book of inspiration. Oh, our speed, sky, earth, spirit. Now we know that everything that makes you is from outside of you. See that? See? So all you got to do is go within. That ain't true. That ain't true. Going within means nothing if you haven't had the experience to gain the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding. Right? Your surroundings, what you see and smell and hear and feel and all that. That's how you gain your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, through your experience. You've been given these so-called senses, you understand, to retain that understanding, but it still comes from outside. Chapter 2, right? All that, even your blood flows by the virtue of the Creator's presence. It's quickening power upon you. You see, outside of you, everything's outside. You dig, and you retain certain things, and you start advancing. Chapter 2, book of inspiration. You are made of inspiration. You are made, listen, old man, mankind, you are made of inspiration, says your Creator. I made you a corporeal body, and I wrote upon it. You are the result. There'll never be another you. You are made of inspiration. That's cold, boy. What are you talking about? It's very clear, too. Y'all hear that? Y'all feel that? That's very, very clear. Very, very clear. You are made of inspiration. Says Creator. I made you a corporeal body, and I wrote upon it. You are the result. And I made you susceptible, so all things outside or external to yourself could write upon you. You were made like that. That's how your inspiration made, so that everything outside of you could impress or write upon you. You know what I mean? Yes, your environment influences you. Your environment determines. Look at this. Your environment determines who you are. Look at this. The sum of these is your knowledge. The sum of your experiences is your knowledge. As it is with you, so it is with all men and with all the living that I created. Nor is there any knowledge in the world but what I gave. All of it is my inspiration. All of it is my inspiration. Boy, Creator cold, boy. What are you talking about? And, y'all worshiping false gods. And no. Let me help you out with something. Let me correct you and correct the nation of Israel, just in case anybody is mumble mouthing. We all are Israelites. You are Israelite, and I'm an Israelite. One of us is in service to the ever-present, omnipotent, all-powerful Creator, and the other one is a slave to a false deity and God. Now, there's only one way to prove that. Shit, get in the ring. Let's get it. All of it is my inspiration. Man said, by certain measurements, I teach my son mathematics. I am behind all, says Jehovah. I taught your father's father and all who were before him. The sum of all of man's knowledge is merely man's ability, man's capability, capacity to perceive my light. Boy, what is you talking about? Either you are capable of perceiving or seeing the Creator's light or not. The sum of all man's knowledge is merely man's capacity to perceive my light. Huh? So no matter you a mathematician or any of that, you can't make your boast against the Creator. All of it is inspiration. I taught you daddy's daddy's daddy. Huh? The sum of all of man's knowledge is merely man's capacity to perceive my light. I made you my servant to teach your son by certain measurements. This was the road I made to reach your son's soul. Man said, I know more than my father did, and yet my father knew more than his father did. We reason, we digest, we compound from one another. I am the all external. For me, smaller lights are focalized, says the Creator Jehovah. I am the all external. Remember, everything that is made of you or you are made of comes from outside or external. I am the all external. For me, smaller lights are focalized, says Jehovah. A man holds a condensing lens to the sun, and he lights a fire with it. But yet the lens did not contain the heat. Talking about a magnifying glass, huh? A man holds a magnifying glass to the sun, and he lights a fire with it. But yet the lens, the magnifying glass, did not contain the heat. You have accumulated knowledge in the same way, yet you did not conceive any knowledge of your own, but all came from me. I gave it all. Boy, that's a cold parable right there. It's like the magnifying glass, right? The sun can use a magnifying glass to start a fire, but guess what? The magnifying glass didn't produce the heat. It didn't produce it. It just was used as a vessel for the heat from the sun to come through, but it did not produce the heat. In like manner, you have accumulated knowledge in the same way that magnifying glass was used to start a fire. Man is used in the same way as the magnifying glass to accumulate knowledge. You have accumulated knowledge in the same way, yet you did not conceive any knowledge of your own, but all came from me. I gave it all. The increase in knowledge now upon the earth with all the races of men is only the increase I gave. Man of himself created none of it. Look at what we fighting over. You fighting over the Creator's inspiration upon the races of man to progress man. The increase in knowledge now upon the earth with all the races of men is only the increase I gave. Man of himself created none of it. Neither can you create one thought, idea, or impulse. So now you know your thoughts are not original, any of that. It comes from somewhere. It comes from the source. It comes from Creator. You can only gather together from my harvest or from me in person. So this is letting you know, look, don't confuse your inspiration as if it's you or if it's something else. No, it comes from me. Without me, don't nothing move. Y'all hear our Creator talking? Without me, don't nothing move. Nothing. You are inspiration made. Right? But just like the magnifying glass didn't produce the sun, nor the heat that's traveling through it, right? We, as man, didn't produce the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that the Creator is sending down in these days. Through us. We ain't off of that. So that lets you know, don't get big-headed or, puffed up with pride, right? We didn't offer none of this. We ain't like them mealy-mouth misfits that run around here and tell you ain't in the truth because you ain't with us. We dare not. Look, you niggas is more brave than me. I'm gonna keep it solid with you. Y'all way more braver than me. I dare not twist my lips and say I'm the author and finisher of truth. But we get some understanding and we working. We got up in the chat. Headshot, body blow, headshot. We. How we looking? We all good? Now let's keep cooking. Chapter 3, Book of Inspiration. Oh, I spin. Y'all make sure y'all stop me when y'all hear something evil. Cats, I heard it's low-hanging fruit. Everything's evil. Everything's superstitious. Everything pagan. Y'all know what the hell y'all talking about. And since we got everybody's attention, now it's time to what? Get back to teaching. And still get on everybody's nerves, because we still calling your God to the flow. We still gonna call him to the flow. Period, point blank in the story. Okay, bang, chapter 3. Oh, I speak. I made, chapter 3 and 1, I made the eye of man to obtain knowledge by light. But the ear of man I made to obtain knowledge from darkness. And within darkness, says the Creator. I gave the power of touch to man, by which he could learn the adaptability and compatibility and incompatibility of things with himself. These are the corporeal doorways, so your senses or your physical doorways or portals. That was given to you so you could gain knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So you could understand what you're adaptable to, what you're compatible with, or what you're not compatible with. You see? But the Creator created you and gave you an advantage out here, right? Explaining why I gave you certain things. This is why he gave us certain things. These are the corporeal portals or doorways I gave to you, O man, by which you are able to receive knowledge from me and my creations consciously to yourself. Through what? Through the doorways. What are the doorways? Your senses, your smell, your sight, your touch. You know what I mean? The senses. These are your corporeal doorways to receive what? Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. OWASP ain't hard to understand, y'all. It's real easy. This is how you receive knowledge or inspiration from the Creator and from his creations. Consciously to yourself. Through these, you are constantly impregnated. Through your senses, through what you see, through what you touch, through what you smell, through what you taste. Though through these, you are constantly impregnated. Meaning what's coming from the spiritual world is constantly a seed from the spiritual world, or a thought or whatever it may be, constantly crashes into your mind through what you take in through your senses. Through these, you are constantly impregnated. Through these, your soul accumulates knowledge of my works. Through what? Through these corporeal doorways. What doorways? Your senses. He's showing you how you're inspired daily. See, it ain't just talking at you. It's letting you know the why. This is why you created like this. It ain't just saying God created you perfect. Or Waspy explaining why he created you the way he created you. How you're inspired to do what's righteous and all that, right? Through your senses, through your corporeal doorways, with doorways or portals. You see, we slow down and hit all the way different. When you slow down, slow roll this. You dig? It ain't like they teaching it elsewhere. Through these, you are constantly impregnated. Through these, your soul accumulates knowledge of my works. Whatever is charged upon these doorways, remember the doorways are your senses. What you can see, what you can smell, what you can taste, what you can touch, what you can hear. Right? These are your corporeal portals or doorways. And through these is how you gain inspiration and knowledge. Whatever is charged upon these doorways of your soul is inspiration. Now you know the how. See? It ain't just God created you perfect. Now you know how he created you and why he created you the way he created you. Y'all get some understanding. Throw me an 8 up in the chat. We cooking with the vortex today. We getting understanding. Right? The crazy part is it's real simple. It ain't even hard, man. Right? This ain't even hard. This ain't even hard to understand. It's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You know what I mean? Another benefit of WASPI is written in modern American English. I don't gotta waste time running back to a Strong's Concordance and all that and try to break down Greek and Hebrew just to get an understanding that's different than what's written down. It's right in English, straightforward. You see? Whatever is charged upon these portals or doorways of your soul is inspiration. When you see bread, you are inspired to eat. When you see a horse, you are inspired to ride. When you touch a nettle, you are inspired with pain. See, senses, what you see, what you touch. Through these gateways come your inspiration and knowledge. There is nobody alive that could even argue with that. That's simple and it makes all the sense in the world. Oh, okay. Okay, so I got to stop saying just go within, brother. That's pointless if you never had the experience. The fuck you gonna tell me to go within and become a neuro brain surgeon? No, you got to gain some type of knowledge from outside of you. You know what I mean? And go through various training, education, and advancement before you can be declared a neuro brain surgeon. You can't go within to find out how to properly do brain surgery if you've never had the experience, if you never gained the experience from without. See? Y'all hear that? Y'all feel that? Oh, WASPI hit different, man. It even exposed the mealy mouth, slanderous jaw Negroes with the sayings, you don't need any books or anything, just go within. You dig? But we read today, oh, that's irrelevant if you've never had the experience. I can't go within to learn how to fix, how to be a master mechanic and fix Mercedes Benz's, can I can't go within and learn how to, you know, and learn about jet propulsion, and the latest rocket technology, can I can't go within and study the effects of reverse osmosis, can I? You start to see how idiotic a lot of our people sound. And trip off this, y'all. These are the groovy gurus that these niggas is paying for consultations. You're like, oh my God, man. This is crazy. These niggas out here selling spirit and they just as low as the deceived brother in the Christian church, man. You see? That's why WASPI is hated. It exposes it all. Yeah. I heard somebody say the other day, I ain't nothing but another Book of Mormon. It exposes the Mormon religion. Or WASPI does. Exposes it. Calls it by name. I say, dang, this is crazy, bro. Everything that you are or what you become is based off what was impressed upon you externally. Right? It arrived inside of you because of the experience you went through externally. Okay, so just to go within, but you never had an experience of the subject or topic you're going within about, is pointless. Look at this. Yet in all cases, you must have practice before you can comprehend the inspiration that comes to you from these external things. Yet in all cases, you must have practice. Practice? Playoffs? Look at this. You must have practice. See, this whole thing is practical. You can put it into practice, family. Yet in all cases, you must have practice before you can comprehend the inspiration, before you can understand the inspiration that comes to you from these external things. See, but now you're aware. Now you're aware that the inspiration and knowledge that comes to you through these corporeal doorways or portals called your senses, what you can see, smell, taste, touch, and hear. Now you know that. Now you can practice and say, oh, no, that's an evil inspiration right there. I don't agree to that. Oh, yeah, that's a righteous inspiration right there. That must be directly from Creator. Yeah, I'm rocking with that. See, this is practical. But WASPI is a practical guidebook to the spirit life. Now you can practically understand who, not only when you're being inspired, but who's inspired you. Look at this. Man says, the day I remember my friend whom I have not seen for many years. Jehovah says, I made you like a storehouse and like a book that was written before. And I gave you power to reread your stores and your book within your soul. This was the accumulated inspiration that I had previously given you. When you are fevered, entranced, or in diverse action from your usual bent, your soul turns into these stores and your memory comes forth wonderful. This is the manifestation of inspiration which I had previously given you. I made you. Look what the Creator is saying. Remember, he said your inspiration made, right? Chapter 3, verse 14. I made you so that you would receive inspiration. I made you so that you would receive inspiration. So these cats really don't know what they're talking about in the conscious community. You bring up something like spirit, right? Root word for inspiration. Spirit is the root word for that. You bring up spirit and these cats about to be ready to blow their draws out. They call spirit pseudo. Meanwhile, every man, woman, and child every day up here, you probably have about 1,000 conversations within yourself every day. Now you know, right? The spirit realm is just as much of a reality as what you can tangibly see and physically see right now. Right? The proof of it is the thousands of conversations you be having every day. Who the hell are you talking to? Thought you was crazy your whole life, huh? No. There's an unseen realm, and there are entities or persons without physical bodies all around us all the time. Now you can understand and make a distinction between those that roll with the Creator and those that's down with the false deities and gods. You got to know what kind of inspiration this is and who it's coming from. What's the message? I made you so that you will receive inspiration, not only from the world external to yourself, but inspiration from the members of your body. See, so it still is within. You understand? But again, it doesn't get within unless it came from without. Believe that. All right. My impression upon you is inspiration. But you must realize my inspiration in order to know me. You gotta realize when you're being inspired to do righteousness. Okay. Yeah. And then you start appreciating that, that communion you having with your Creator, with your Maker. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. It makes sense now. But if you want to know him, you must realize his inspiration that is upon you. Look at this. An idiot holds fire in his hand and it gives him pain, but yet he does not know the cause or where the pain originates. So also I come to you and give you inspiration, but you do not discern me. Another man discerns my presence and my inspiration. He hears me speak. He sees my person. Yet I am with both alike. Those who can see him and those who can't. Say he knew both. Look at this. One man opens his mouth to speak, and behold, my words come forth. And yet another says, no man knows Jehovah. None have heard him. One man is sensitive like a photographic plate for a picture. And then he catches my light instantly and knows it's from me. Another one says, a sudden thought struck me. Came out of nowhere, didn't it? We grew up saying that, man, that thought came out of nowhere. Another one says, a sudden thought struck me, but he does not discern where it came from. That sudden thought, y'all, is from the Creator. Especially if it's righteous. It's righteous from the Creator. That's what I'm saying. You don't need no priest, no moray, no camp leader, no bishop, no apostle, no none of that. Your Creator been speaking to every last one of y'all since before you can remember. You say stuff like a sudden thought popped into my mind, came out of nowhere, came out of the clear blue sky. I should have followed my first mind. Yeah, that's your Creator. Creator been rapping at you this whole time. And what we've been doing, we've been working and practicing on what? Not hearing that light. Right? Not hearing that light. And we bound our understanding to books. And we start worshiping books. That's the problem. You ain't supposed to worship no book, period. We get some understanding in this deal, boy. We now let's get into chapter 4, the book of inspiration. Oh, Ashby. I see y'all in the building. Bless up, everybody getting some understanding. That's all that matters. Let's get into chapter 4. See what we got going on today around each parts. Just want to get on and go through a lesson with the fam. Read through old Waspy, you dig? Like, we can't forget we're here to teach. You know what I mean? We already went to war, bombed everything. You dig? They got to clean up their own false gods. We got everybody's attention. We just going to apply pressure, right? Just keep teaching. You feel me? It's even making the haters say, dang, what is he talking about today? And they click on her and they get stuck right in the vortex. Like, dang, you ain't saying nothing evil. You feel me? They actually are the ones telling us, hey, live to your highest light. Don't kill. Don't commit murder. Don't go to war. Stop killing animals. You know what I mean? Live to your highest light. Righteousness and good works done unto others is your only way towards salvation and resurrection. Nah, there's a difference between the creator and the gods and the lords and all them. Yeah. You feel me? Yeah, one is bringing the light, others are reveling in darkness. Easy work. Chapter 4, book of inspiration. Oh, Ashby. We get some understanding. Around these parts. What we got here? Chapter 4 and 1. When the infant is young, my light is its first knowledge. My light is its first knowledge, says Jehovah. It sees me and hears me. And it sees and hears my angels through its spiritual senses. So letting you know, children are more closely connected to the unseen realm or the spirit realm than adults are. The light of the creator is an infant's first knowledge. Right? Them babies you be wondering why them babies sometimes be sitting around just smiling, laughing, rolling around, playing with themselves, looking up, running. What Joker doing? Look at this. It says it sees me and hears me, and it sees and hears my angels through its spiritual senses. By the pressure of my light upon its corporeal eyes and ears, it learns to see and hear physically. This is the beginning of two senses, which I created to grow parallel to each other and equal in strength. But the infant being in the corporeal world, heeds the things that appeal to the corporeal senses more than those that appeal to the spiritual senses. But the infant being in the physical world heeds the things that appeal to the physical senses more than those that appeal to the spiritual senses. So that one person grows up forgetting me and my angels. He is a skeptic. But another person grows up remembering me and my angels. He is a believer. And behold you, O man, inquire of them, where did the idea of a creator and all person come from? And one of them answers you, it is inherent, it is natural. But the other answers, it is folly, it came from darkness. But I say to you, O man, darkness cannot create an idea. Do you hear that? Darkness cannot create an idea. Darkness will not even be known except for the light I make beside it. Sit your look, bag drop. Darkness can't produce an idea. Darkness wouldn't even be known unless it was something called light. Oh wait. There will be no such thing. Only reason darkness is relevant is because there's something called light. Look at this. You cannot imagine any animal under the sun which I have not created. Man said, I imagine a horse with a fish head and fins. Whatever you invent, says the creator, you merely take the parts of one of my creations and put them to another. Let this prove to you, if you cannot invent a new living creature, that your forefathers did not do so either in regard to me. Look at this. Nevertheless, you have a thought and an idea of me and of my person. And you have a thought and an idea of the spirits of the dead. By my presence and inspiration upon you, I taught you I am the I am, a person. By the inspiration and presence of my angels, I taught you of them also. My inspiration upon the bird causes it to sing. By my presence, I teach it to build its nest. By my presence, I color one rose red and another white. Proof of my person is in the harmony of the whole. Proof of my person is in the harmony of the whole. And of everyone being a person of itself, perfect in its order. Oh, wait, boy, the credit's cold, man. I think we're going to read up to like chapter 6 or something and then slide on up out of here, you dig? I think that's what we're going to do. Keep it short and to the point today. You feel me? Whew. There's so many jewels in this deal, man. This book of inspiration go hard. And the creator's putting it all on the line. He letting it be known. This is what it is. Right? This is my inspiration. This is how you prove me. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. Y'all get some understanding. Throw a 7 up in the chat. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Give me a 7 in the chat if y'all get some understanding. A little bit more, get up out of here. Bang, bang, bang. You were inspiration made. You were inspiration made. Now you know. All knowledge and inspiration come through your senses. Those are your physical portals to gaining knowledge, wisdom, understanding, all of it. Dang. Oh, Speed, chapter 5, Book of Inspiration, chapter 5. Let's get into it. I have 2 kinds of voices, says the creator. The silent voice and the audible voice. I created all men susceptible to one or the other of my voices, and many to both. Creator has a silent voice and an audible voice. One man hears my voice in the breeze and in thunder and in music. Another hears my voice in the flowers of the field and in the scenery of the mountains. And yet another feels my inspiration and he skips up the mountainside and does not tire on the way. He who neither sees nor feels my inspiration goes up the mountain in great labor. In proportion to how clear man is in his corporeality and in his spirit, so does he discern my inspiration. In proportion to how clear man is in his physicality and in his spirit, so does he discern my inspiration. And if he has great purity as well, then he shapes my light into corporeal words. I taught man to call these my revealed words. I taught man, see, man was taught how to prophesy, y'all. Man was taught. Prophesying is a skill that is learned through certain types of knowledge. Right? I taught man to call these my revealed words. Nevertheless, I did not create any corporeal man perfect. I did not create any physical man perfect, nor can any man reveal my words perfectly. No man can reveal the creator's words perfectly. Why? Because man wasn't created perfect. Salvation, resurrection, y'all, creation is a process, right? You work at perfecting yourself, elevating yourself, advancing yourself, right? In that, your salvation is practical. It's something you have to work at and practice. But I created the way open to all men to try to reveal me. According to man's approximation to perfect manhood, so do I reveal to him by my presence and my words. According to man's imperfection in manhood, so does my inspiration not manifest on his senses. I created perfect manhood possible. I created perfect manhood possible, equal in corporeal and spiritual senses. Strong physical senses and weak spiritual senses detract man from my presence. So, in other words, you got strong physical senses, but you are lacking spiritually speaking. It takes away man from the Creator's presence and makes him an infidel to my person. Such a man denies my inspiration and the inspiration of my angels. He is little more than a forest tree, which has a trunk and many branches, but does not move from its place. Let's jump into chapter 6. We get clarity over this way. We understand the methodology in inspiration now and knowledge. How does man receive knowledge and inspiration from his maker? Through his senses, through what he sees, through what he smells, through what he tastes, through what he touches, and what he hears. We cooking with the vortex today. Last chapter for the day. I didn't want to go too long today. I just wanted to come on and, just keep that fire, keep that Ethereum fire going. You feel me? That's what we've been doing. Like I say, we've been openly displaying all praises to the ever-present Creator. Y'all already know. But we ain't got nothing else to even say or show. We done pulled up everywhere and cleared the block. Cleared the block. Yeah. So hey, we back to teaching and getting on these mealy mouth cats' nerves. Come on outside, battle the holy books. Come on outside with your God in this book and debate your cause. So we gonna keep getting on your nerves, calling y'all out for these discussions and debates and all that. But in the meantime, we teaching. The WASPI is very, very vast. It has a lot of information. The harmony and symmetry in it is off the chain if you can get past colorism. Yeah, we even showed that. We just proved even the whole scenario of white supremacy and all that. Utterly destroyed it. All right? So yeah. Get into this, man. It's an excellent read. It may just resonate with you. All right? Chapter 6, Book of Inspiration. I am one spirit. I am one spirit, says Jehovah or Yahweh. My quickening power is upon all the living. Because of this, they live and move according to the different structures of the living. So is my inspiration manifested by them. One, like the hare, runs away in cowardice. Another, like a lion, is ferocious. Another, without judgment, like the serpent. And as the man, one is inspired to music. Another to mathematics. Another to seership, and so on. To all of these, I am the one, the universal inspirer, moving them all. Look at this. According to their organic structure, so do they manifest my inspiration. I made the serpent the lowest of living creatures, for I gave him an element capable of destroying himself. When the earth was encircled with poisonous gases, I created poisonous vines, weeds, trees, and all kinds of herbs growing profusely upon the earth. In that way, I created a vegetable world from destroying gases and from earth substance. And in that day, all growing things upon the earth which I had created were poison as the animal life. Then I created the serpents of all sizes. I created them, and they were poison also. So I wonder how the Creator got all the poison out the vegetation that we eat today. I wonder what he did. Let's keep reading. And the serpents I created were carnivorous, feeding upon one another. Self-impregnating, I created them. Thus I drove the poison of the earth down into the vegetation, and from there into the animal world. Thus I purified the earth of heaven. So the poisonous gases that was in the atmosphere, he drove down into the vegetation and then destroyed it with the poisonous serpents, who were carnivorous and self-impregnated. You see, even all that was a process. See, before man was able to live on this earth and sustain himself, you feel me? He had to come at the right time. If man wasn't created at the right time, all the vegetation he would have ate would have killed him. See, creation is a process. Thus I drove the poison of the earth down into vegetation, and from there the vegetation into the animal world. How do you do that? Through the serpents. Thus I purified the earth of heaven. This was the first creation I created on this world. Then I overcast the earth with fallen nebulae, space substance, comets, and you know what I mean, semi-dark and semi-light substance, right? That's been falling on this earth whenever the earth goes through its stages. You feel me? Of darkness and light. When it's time to go through its darkness, this space substance is the earth. You know what I mean? And it's a gang of it. It ain't like no flurries. It's a gang of it. And it looks as if like your temples are sinking. You know, but really it's just falling space substance called AGI, JA, and nebulae. Then I overcast the earth with fallen nebulae and cover up the poisons growing upon the earth. And they will turn to what? Oil and coal. Now you know where your oil beds and your coal beds come from. Huh? They come from the poisonous gases that were still in the vegetation. You know what I mean? And what happens? The falling space substance falls by the megaton. Right? And in time, guess what? All those poisonous fossils, all those poisonous plants turn into what? Your oil and your coal that you use today in your vehicles. They ain't nothing but once poisonous plants. Then turn to oil and coal. Right? So the creator's so cold, he's preparing the oil and the coal through the poisonous gases and falling nebulae millenniums earlier so it could be used in this day. That's cold, man. Look at this. Then I made a new creation, the second creation, giving feet, legs, and bones to the animals I designed for the earth. And when the earth was ripe for man, I ain't talking about no angels doing this either. And when the earth was ripe for man, then I created him. Man was created at the perfect time, y'all. Before then, this environment would have been hostile toward man. He wouldn't have survived. It was too hot. All the food was poisonous. You know what I mean? He wouldn't have survived. And when the earth was ripe for man, then I created him male and female. I created those of the second creation. And man was dumb like other animals, without speech and without understanding, even less than any other creature that I had created. Now, some people might say that sounds crazy, but objectively speaking, it sounds like man was created or came out like a child comes out today. Defenseless, helpless, needs guardians, can't wash his ass, can't feed itself. Like you have something in creation that you can objectively reference. If you got children, you know. They don't come out, you know what I mean? They don't come out a master plumber. They don't come out, you know what I mean? No journeyman and all that. They don't come out no entertainer or any of that. Right? What happens when life is brought into this earth? It's completely helpless and defenseless. No type of knowledge and all that. Well, Waspi's view of man being created was man was birthed or brought into this earth the same way. Right? Man was dumb, like a child. Don't know what's really going on. A man was dumb like other animals without speech. Right? Can't talk. A baby. And without understanding, a baby. Even less than any other creature that I had created. Nevertheless, I had given to man and thus made him out of the dissolved elements of every living thing that had preceded him. Wow. According to I Speak, man is made out of the dissolved elements of every living thing that had preceded him. And man partook of the first and second creations. After the manner of every animal on the earth, I created man with all the characteristics of all of them. I created him male and female. I created them. And man was unconscious of his creation, not knowing where he came from. Nor did he know which was his own species. Man was made, when man was created, he was created as a child in understanding. So in other words, there will be no modern man today without the help of the high-raised angels. That's why your creator sends angels during certain arc cycles to give inspiration to man. You know what I mean? To develop man, to progress man to where he is today. And man was unconscious of his creation, not knowing where he came from, nor did he know which was his own species. And I sent angels to man to teach him who he was and to rouse him up to his capabilities for which I created him. And my angels drew from man's side substance and thus took on corporeal forms. And the angels dwelt with man as helpmates to make man understand. And then it's going into more inspiration. But we'll get into that, you know what I mean, the next time we come on. The OWASP's understanding of creation is a process. Okay? Creation is a process. And even man, who is part of creation, is a process. Right? If that don't sound solid to you, then guess what? Why is it that you can objectively reference something today when a child is born? A child is born helpless, defenseless, dumb, don't know how to walk, don't know how to talk. You know what I mean? Now, what if man was made simultaneously all over the earth that way at one time? Right? And what did the Creator do? Send guardians or parents, put guardians over man, angels, to help man, to assist man, to progress man. You feel me? Really ain't that hard. It really ain't that hard to understand. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I'm going to read this last one, chapter 7. I think I'm going to do chapter 7. Get on the body heads. Yeah, because this goes into direct, indirect inspiration. Let's read chapter 7 too. All right, and showing you the methodology of the Creator's inspiration, how he inspires. We're learning today. We are learning today. That's why every element in the earth is in the body. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Yeah, you go through them different arc cycles, you start seeing, okay, during that arc cycle in that time period, man was inspired to symmetry, harmony, poetry, art. You know what I mean? Star maps. You start seeing these things. Crazy. All right. Chapter 7, Book of Inspiration, OSP. I created man even from the beginning that he should learn to be an independent being, says Jehovah, says Yahweh. See that? You were made to be an independent being. There'll never be another you. There will never be another Matthew Smith son, my brother in the chat. There'll never be. Right? You are you. That's who you are. All right? I created man even from the beginning that he should learn to be an independent being, says the Creator. When my angels had taught man speech, making him name all the animals in the world, after the names the animals called themselves, I commanded my angels to come away from man for a season. Look at this. To my angels I said, behold, of all the animals I created in the world, to man only I gave the capacity to transmit knowledge to his brethren by words. So the Creator do that. You know, once you understand and it look like you can come off your training wheels, he'll tell his angels, withdraw from man for a little bit. You understand? Because you really see what you made of when you don't have the resources there, or you don't have the people there to help you all the time. Every time you get into a jam, you really see your test of character. You really see your mental fortitude. So at times, the Creator tell the angels, move back and don't even assist man right now. You feel me? Let him flex and work on his willpower. You see that? Let him learn to control them elements. Let him learn to control the weather. But he only gave the man, I gave the capacity to transmit knowledge to his brethren by words. And only the man I gave capacity to comprehend an idea of me. His creator, all the animals that was made. See, so don't take that direct inspiration, you know, don't sneeze at that, y'all. Don't sweep that up under the rug like it, you know. All right, I think we need to be more grateful for that. Like, you know, he could have made you on the level of a beast, an animal, not knowing nothing about nothing. And only to man I gave capacity to comprehend an idea of me, his creator. Nevertheless, I inspire all living animals that I created, but they do not know it. I inspire the spider to make its net, the bird to build her nest, the wild goose to fly south before the winter comes, the mare to neigh for her coat, the ant to lay in its stores, the bees to dwell in the queendom, and so on. By my inspiration upon them, I move and control every living creature. Males and females I inspire to come together at times and seasons. That's right. And then to live apart during gestation. I keep these examples before man as a lesson of the wisdom of my inspiration. Look at this. And if you look around, y'all, you can see the creator's inspiration everywhere. See, we're exposing it now. Right? To man, I give liberty to acquire wisdom by observing, by looking at the method of my work as I manifest in other living creatures. Look at that. The creator say, you want to know about me? Study my creation. I gave you liberty to acquire wisdom by looking at the method of my work. What's the method behind his creation? Vortex. Acquire wisdom by observing the creator's creation. Yes. Yes, look at this. I have also given man capacity to attain to know my inspiration in contradistinction from the inspiration he receives from his surroundings. There's a difference. You also have the capability of understanding direct inspiration from the creator and indirect inspiration dealing with your surroundings. Which one is it? See, this Owaski is ice cold. I don't know what nobody talking about. It really don't matter what you talking about. This deal hit different, man. It really does. Dig? Look at this. To no other creature did I give this capacity. What comes of me is without pain or injury to anyone, and with liberty to all. Such are my inspirations. So you run around talking about you was inspired to kill somebody, you know what I mean? And the creator inspires you, you a damn lie. What comes of the creator, what comes of me is without pain or injury to anyone, and with freedom to all. So you got to ask yourself, who's inspiring you to be a slave master in your kingdom? It ain't the creator. A lot of us have been in worship or in league with false angels and evil angels, pump faking like they're the creator. And that's why Israel don't want to make the distinction, because you slowly start realizing or quickly realize that I've been in service and bondage to a false god this whole time. But sooner or later, you got to check back in with your creator anyway, man. It don't matter. Eventually, you got to check in. All right, and eventually you want to deal with the fact you've been dealing with a false god. If you want to advance further, you have to deal with that. Like, dang, I'm over tripping. When man witnesses a battle, he is inspired to battle. When he witnesses peace and love, he is inspired to peace and love. What moves man in consonance and wisdom and to life is my inspiration. Back to the title of the class. Title of the class. Book of Inspiration, the spirit world and its influence over man. What moves man in consonance and wisdom and to life is my inspiration. What moves man in dissonance and folly and to death is inspiration for man's surroundings. Y'all see? Now you can tell the difference between the creator influencing you and you being influenced by your surroundings. So you can't put the evil stuff on creator. That ain't what he is. What moves man in consonance and wisdom and life is my inspiration. What moves man in dissonance and folly and to death is inspiration for man's surroundings. I inspire the serpent to bite to death. For so I created you. This is no sin, for it fulfills its labor. It is the remnant of poison of other errors. And that's why some of these snakes are poisonous. The poison, the venom that's in some of them snakes that are left over, proves that there were poisonous gases in previous eras and that the earth was not suitable for man at that time. Man came on the earth at the exact time. Look at this. And if something is doing what it was created to do, it's not sinful. All right, look at this. Man I created not to destruction, but to life, wisdom, peace, and love toward all. When man practices virtue, wisdom, truth, and love to all. When man practices, listen to this, y'all. When man practices virtue, wisdom, truth, and love to all, his inspiration is from the Creator directly. Do y'all hear that? His inspiration is from me direct. When man practices destruction, we're going to kill the nations, and selfishness, it's only me. His inspiration is indirectly from me through the conflict of his surroundings. That ain't a direct inspiration. That's indirect through the warring reality of your surroundings. See? And thus he becomes evil instead of good. Through direct inspiration, I move upon all the animals I created. This I also created possible to men, separate from indirect inspiration. Ooh-wee. I think that's it for the day, though, fam. I think that's it for the day. We did. We'll go ahead and get on up out of here. We've been on here close to 2 hours. But I wanted to come on and talk about what inspires man, the spirit world and its influence over man. Now you know the difference between direct inspiration and indirect. Now you know the methodology or what's used for man to gain knowledge and inspiration. It's your senses, what you can see, what you can hear, what you can smell, what you can taste, what you can touch. That's how man gains inspiration or knowledge. Right? One is direct, one is indirect. Right? So he created you. You were inspired, you were made through inspiration. Right? And he told you all knowledge ain't nothing but the accumulation of my light. So all praise, glory, and honor to the Creator. That was quick, that was fast, that was right to the point. Like my brother just said, that was deep as well. But Creator Gang, we out here teaching, man. Again, we done went to war over the past few months and bombed everything, got it out the way. We got everybody attention. You dig? We here to teach. We're here to keep teaching. You dig? So this is part 1, book of inspiration, the spirit world and its influence over man. We'll come back in a couple days and do part 2. I salute you all in the name of the ever-present Creator, the Master Light, the all in all, the always was, is, and never shall be. Now you understand how you're inspired, how you accumulate knowledge and inspiration. If it's direct inspiration from the Creator or if it's indirect from the Creator through the conflict of your surroundings. Now you know your senses that the Creator made you with are used for you to accumulate knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You feel me? And now you know the difference. You know you being influenced all the time or inspired all the time. Identify who's inspiring you. Is this direct inspiration or indirect inspiration? Is it righteous or not? You know what I mean? Like you got the tools. We got the tools to perfect ourselves and to be victorious. You dig? So, hey, look, love all y'all in deed and truth, love and light to the fam. Y'all handle y'all business. I don't know if somebody else may be back up live later on today. Hey, the gang is growing. And we the ones out here, make no mistake about it. We the ones out here bringing this light, Mali Negaton light bomb out in this deal, baby. We gonna keep it going. And again, this battle with the holy books all day over this way. And your fingers ain't broke. Bring your God and its book off the porch and debate your cause. You know what I mean? We don't want to hear nothing, no conjecture, no milly mouthing, no none of that. Bring your God outside. We call you God to the flow. You know what I mean? And if your God is true God or is a representative of the Creator, then guess what? We ain't got nothing to argue about. But if your God is in conflict, yeah, we coming for its head. We're going to bomb it and make you clean up the fragments. You clean up your own God. You dig? Love y'all indeed in truth, love and light. Bless up. I salute you all in the name of the ever-present creator, the all in all, that always was, is, and never shall be, the omnipotent one, the master light, the great I am that I am. Mighty Yahweh. Love y'all family forever and a day. Bless up on about this deal. Y'all try y'all best not to hurt nobody, but you know, hey, be great today, and be dangerous. Dangerous, you know what I mean? We ain't no victims out here. Let everybody know the gang outside. We ain't just talking what we talking, we outside. And we pull up. We've openly shown that. All right, so we back to the teaching. Easy work. Anybody want to have a dialogue or conversation with us, y'all got to come over on Creative Gang TV. Let's chop it up. The battle of the holy books is still what it is. Bring your God outside. Let's get it cracking. You feel me? So love is love, family. Love y'all. You dig? Deed and truth. Forever and a day. Y'all go back, check this video out, share it everywhere, meditate on it. But again, this is practical. This is something you can practically apply. You dig? To effect righteous change right now in today's time. You dig? We don't care nothing about no chopped off goat heads and scraped off fat or any of that. What's up, here? What's up, boy? All right, y'all. I'm about here. Bless up. Love and light. You dig? Hey, stay sucker free out here, man. Stay low and keep firing. Yeah. Create a gang in the building. You bring them, we raise them. Bless up.